So this is a tutorial on the INCUBUS, and I will show it to you later on in the video. For beginners, I start with the collar. This is the collar with the mesh, and it has the mesh in it. Here is the mesh, and then this is the roll of mesh that I use. Just a quick tutorial on how I start the collar. So in my book here, I have this yarn. This is 454 grams and 810 yards. So this color I'm using today is red. And in my book here, measures, look, measures this from 1 to 19. See? 1 to 19. If you can see it there clearly. So this is what we're recreating today. Come, let me show you. So we measure 1 to 19 out of the mesh here. 1 to 19. And it looks like it stops just about here. So okay, so now we're done measuring and I have my piece. This is the piece here. So I'll put this to the side since I'm done using this. And the goal is to get this piece of mesh to look like this collar. So now you have your needle and your yarn, and we're crocheting the yarn into the mesh. But first we start around. This is how we start, from this edge to that edge to 4 corners. Let's say we finish our first 2 steps, measuring and cutting. We trimmed, measuring and trimming. Now we're going to begin our first crochet, and it would be a single crochet. So it's supposed to be 38 rows from this corner down to the next corner. If it don't add up to that much, whatever it takes to get you to that corner, you pick. But we doing single crochet. Let me show you. Here. So I usually burn this because this here, I'll burn this together to close this up like this is, but since we can't do that anyway, I'll get my later. Now, you don't really have to burn yours, but I did it just to close this up so it won't unleash any of the mesh since there's no blockage there. Let's begin our first crochet. So we dig right into the corner and we add this and start it off just like you would start off any knot in the beginning. And that's a single crochet there. You see? And keep doing single crochets until you get to the end. Just 2, 3. I'm at the end of this road here, and I meet you back once we finish all 3 corners. So here, you see this? If this happens when you're doing your mesh and crocheting into it, then that means that you have to take it out and try burning those ends to close it up. That way it won't unravel. Before I even can make it down to my last corner here and finish this line, this is what happens. So we can fix that. So we just unravel that. That's one of the open ends. And we'll burn it and melt it close together. Here. You see why I say burn the mesh before you start your first single crochet? Because it can unwind that way. So we want to make sure everything is closed in and it stays. Then after you're done, all 4 corners and 4 rows should look like this. Now, for the coverall, you see how you cover it up in the back like this? What we're going to do is we start from one side of the collar, which is still a mesh right now, but we're going to turn it into a collar, full collar, by starting at these 2 corners. Whatever corner you feel comfortable with starting at. You can start this way. You can start the short way. You can start the long way. But me, I like to start the short way. And I'll single crochet from here to there. And keep going until it can fold over and cover the back of your mesh. Here, I'll show you. So I'm going to start at this corner. And I'm going to build a row of shingle mat. Now, here's where I was saying this may be 38 rows. I'm not used to counting, so bear with me. But I count one of these rows would be 38, and I mean it would be the short side, since that's where I start from and I wrote it in my book. Watch carefully. 1, 2, It doesn't matter exactly how many single crochets you do, it's about making it to the end, from one corner to the next corner. For all you beginners, easy. And to get your mesh covered up on one side, so that way it'll give the image of a collar. And there. So one row, chain one, and then turn, and you keep going back and forth. So I'll say I'll do about like 6 more rows, and then we'll see how far we come. I'll meet you back after 6 rows. Do 6 more rows. Okay, now I've done mine. You see how it starts to come out, and just folding it and showing you demonstration here. You see that? The more you do, the more it will cover up your mesh, and it would start to look like this. Now, there's an easier way. I would say this is the easiest way to make your mesh collar. Simply starting 20 chains separately with the yarn, starting 20 chains, and begin your single crochet pattern that way until it's long enough to measure over this, and you can sew it together. This here is how I did this one. I made a separate border stitch, and then I'll just sew it on and sew it all together on the back. And this is how it's recreated. Okay, thank you for watching Ocheezy's World Crochet Model and Glam. How to crochet a mesh collar. Okay, this is how your collar will look on your full completed incubus. Lovely, see how it shined the mesh in the collar? It's so pretty. It's elegant. It's so sexy. For all you viewers, you can order and leave me messages at Ocheezy World of Glam, or leave me an email